Okie dokie, good evening and welcome to the April 28th, 2026 North Platte Planning Commission meeting. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Davies, McCune, Matthews.
Here.
Bain.
Here.
Fudge.
Here.
Jett.
Here.
Forbes.
Here.
Whirl. Van Velsen.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Current copy of the Open Meetings Act of the state of Nebraska is posted on the back wall of council chambers right there in that lovely little frame. If you need to refer to that at any time, you feel welcome to. Item number 2 is approval of minutes from the March 24th, 2026 meeting. I trust you've all read them intently and have maybe no questions about them. Maybe you do. I don't know.
I would move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Jett, seconded by Bain to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Not? About said Michelle. I'm sorry, Kevin. And the minutes are passed. Old habits die hard. Item number 3, discuss and consider is file number SU26-004. Discuss and consider action on application by Dennis and Shirley Ogborn for Ogborns Third Replat located at 621 East 12th Street in an R2 dwelling district on property described as part of vacated alley and lots 31 and 32 Hastings Addition to North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy.
Okay, and you should have all received a copy of the review comments. Attached to that is a copy of the preliminary and the final plat for Ogborns Third Replat. This is going to consolidate 2 lots and add part of a vacated alley. We all at the last planning commission meeting voted to vacate the alley between the 2 properties. The lots will have access to all city utilities, and planning staff has no objection to the lot consolidation.
Has it made it through council at this point?
Yes, it was at the third reading of the last one.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't want to get the cart in front of the horse.
Yep.
Questions, comments, complaints? It's early for those, but we'll deal with them.
Well, I'll move to rubber stamp that. Let's see, you gotta read something or?
Yep.
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number SU26-004 preliminary and final approval of Ogborns Third Replat.
Second.
Motion by Van Velsen, seconded by Jett to approve as presented. Any more discussion on that motion? If not, Kevin, please. And that motion is approved. This will go to council
May 5th. Tuesday, May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cool.
Did they get tacos that night? No?
Margaritas.
Margaritas after the meeting. Let's clarify.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo.
There you go. That's a good combination. Item number 4, file number SU26-005. Discuss and consider action on application by Deep Waters Retreat LLC for Deep Waters Retreat Subdivision located at 2211 North Buffalo Bill Avenue in a B2 highway commercial district on property described as part of lots 14 and 15 Cody Land and Cattle Company subdivision and part of the northwest quarter of section 29 Township 14 North Range 30 West to the 6th Prime Meridian, Lincoln County, Nebraska, lying south of the right-of-way line of Drainage District Number 1. Judy.
Okay, and you should have all received a copy of the review comments. Attached to that is the preliminary and final plat map for this subdivision. The subdivision is proposing to create 3 new lots consisting of approximately 18.01 acres, leaving the remaining 31.09 acres unplatted. Creation of a subdivision abutting city limits does require a request for annexation of the platted lots, so annexation of this property will be at the May Planning Commission meeting. Planning staff does have a few concerns with this. Now, you all should have received a new copy with a few adjustments on it that came just today. So planning staff does have a few concerns with the subdivision. The property is a large parcel with potential development options. The choices that are made when developing this parcel need to consider access to future roads and utilities. The applicant is proposing to develop the west portion of this parcel with very very limited information on future plans for the remaining area. Without a plan for the remaining portion of the property, the owner of the property and the city need to ensure that development of this area remains an option and be sure that the property does not become landlocked or a utility desert. So as you can see on this, we did propose to put three access and utility easements, actually, 3 access and utility easements, 5 actual easements for utilities in there. The thing that we're a bit concerned with is the rest of the property, which is to the east. I do have a picture, I think, if I can bring it up on the computer, if you will let me, to kind of show you kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to the area. If I can make it work. Ah, look at that.
Well, it did. Now it doesn't. There it is.
Okay. So if you look on here, this is the property that we're looking at right here. And the subdivision that's proposed comes to, right in this area somewhere, about half of the property. So back here, if you look at this, this is a gas line that comes across here. There may be an easement that's filed with it. It's not showing on our map that there's an easement there. But the one thing we've got to be cognizant of is really the only access to this portion from the east would be down this Red Fox Lane. The rest of these are all filled in with houses pretty much here. And so by doing a utility easement, essentially all the way around here, utility and access easement, we're not going to landlock this. And that's the thing that we want to be careful with, is making sure that we don't build a building like right here and landlock the parcel for the future. So that's just kind of what I wanted to show you, kind of the whole area.
Having a lot of experience with that gas line and the provider that has it, I would be shocked if there wasn't some sort of a easement or marking through there.
And there may be, we just didn't see it on the maps that we have. I would assume that they probably filed an easement. But I've seen places where there haven't been any. So.
And that goes out to there's a gas main out there. So it's probably been there quite a while. There's
Yeah,
a
that's
main
if-
off of Buffalo, there's a gas.
that's not this one. Yeah,
little further south.
yeah, this is,
I
I
was
just
thinking there
lost
was
the
one on
name.
the corner of the museum.
Tall grass. No, that's different. This is tall grass. This is a really high pressure line
Okay.
that actually surfaces out at the arena.
Okay.
So,
It's not a natural gas basic line.
no, this is a high pressure delivery line.
So they would almost, well, you'd think they would have to have an easement.
They get real itchy anytime you get around it. Let me put it that way. I've read a lot of these things since I joined the planning commission. This is the first time I can see that I've read planning staff has concerns. That flagged this for me pretty.
Well, I just want to make sure. I mean, this that you've got in front of you isn't horrible, but the thing is, we've got to make sure that if you do approve this as it is this evening, that there is access for utilities, there is access for roads, there is access to that property to the east. Because the last thing you want to see is this to go in with absolutely no access to that eastern half of that lot. Because it is a very large parcel, and the last thing you want to see, 10 years from now is this landlocked area because we made a bad choice. Well,
Yeah.
you guys made a bad choice, not me. 'Cause you guys made a bad-
So question, so like this 30-foot access easement, that's on both the south side, if I'm looking at this right, and the north side, that's only for utilities? That wouldn't be for,
No, it's a utility and access easement.
Okay,
and
so a
that's why
road
we
could
put
be-
access in there.
okay.
Yeah.
So that would be, like, let's just say if a building got built over, where these houses are and blocked that,
Yes.
this would be another access point, and this would be another access point that could be required.
Yes.
Does the landowner have to
30
put that in, or would that be something?
So this is just an easement. We're not requiring them to put in any paved
Okay.
road or anything like that. It's just an access easement. On the south side, so typically our roads are 60-foot wide right away, 60, 66, you know,
66.
something like that. So the one on the south, you could easily see that it could eventually be turned into a road because we would ask the property abutting on the south side to dedicate another 30 foot. So you'd have a
I get it.
60-foot right away
Okay.
so that you could get back there. That's kind of why we tried to protect that, especially on that south side.
Also,
The rest of it was more for utilities,
Okay.
but
and this is breaking this into 3 lots.
that's breaking that
So
into
that's
3
these
lots.
3 lots.
Well,
This
and
would
then
be
the large,
landlocked.
and then the large
Well,
one on
there's
the
30
bottom.
acres over here.
Oh,
That's
okay.
remaining of this
Got it.
land.
Got it. Okay. Got
No,
it.
there's more acreage, so it might be 4 lots if you think about it.
This is where the houses are right here, right?
No,
Oh, they're
no.
over here further.
yes.
That's what he was saying.
The
Okay.
house
Yeah.
is 30 acres
Got
here,
it.
and then the house is.
Oh, so
Right.
that could be really landlocked.
Right,
Yes.
and that's the point.
Oh.
Because this is just half, this is the western half of that 49
Right.
acres.
If you look
Judy,
at,
did they give a reasoning
This.
as to why they wouldn't
Yeah,
do
I see
two
what you're
lots
this is
instead of just the
vacant
one where the
and
building
houses
is?
are here.
So the applicant is here. I don't want to talk
Mm-hmm.
in, you know, in their place, but there's a couple of different reasons why they want to split it up the way that they do. Financing, of course, plus there's assessments for water and sewer. So if you can split it up, abutting Buffalo, then you can pay those assessments, you know, split up in pieces versus all at once.
Hmm.
I found 2 updated versions sitting here.
No, one should be a final, one should be a preliminary. The one with the house on it, or the house, the structure on it is the prelim.
Prelim.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the other one's the final.
Okay. Is that an existing structure?
That is one that has just been currently built, yes.
They didn't even get on the final.
No, you don't put them on the final.
Okay, so there could be 2 landlocked areas. This one subdivision, lot 3, and the one to the east of it.
But lot 3, by putting those access and utility easements in there, it's not landlocked
it,
because
okay.
technically it has an easement
Got
that
it.
can be accessed.
The
Okay.
issue is the eastern piece.
So this is the final with the easements
sinking
all
in.
drawn in, and the easement for the utilities. And the gas
no.
easement,
The gas easement is probably on a separate document by itself for the other half of
Yeah.
the property
Yep.
because this does not hit this
it
first
just,
half.
okay, so
Yeah.
it just goes into that excess 31 acres.
Yep,
Okay,
Is this property the same ownership?
yes.
So why can't an easement just be continued? Through,
when they subdivide that, it
You
can't
can.
be.
You can. The applicant did not want to put any easement on the rest of that property. But yes, it could be continued.
it seems like it should.
You mean it can be tonight? Without it
You
being
can
in the
require that that
subdivision?
easement be put in there if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm comfortable approving this in this form.
Well, that's what, right. I feel the other 31 acres should have been shown on this
Yeah,
I
to
agree.
get the good picture.
to,
Another question, is the landowner the same here as here?
Mhm.
So this is all the same landowner?
It's not to the south. So
Right.
there's a different owner south of here.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
sorry.
No,
This
you're
is, I think the Cowboy Church folks own
Yes.
that lot, or that ground south of there.
This is the new
South
building,
half
that
of that.
new,
Yes,
really nice
Yeah.
building? Mhm.
yes.
The medical building.
and the Cowboy Church owns the south half and it abuts up to the new residential
Yes.
development taking place.
And I think at some point, if they ever, doesn't 19th Street
Yes.
eventually go through there if they ever develop that?
Yes. So 19th, if you look there at the bottom,
Oh,
we've
that's
got
okay.
half of 19th Street.
Right.
And so then the Cowboy Church, at some point, we would ask them to dedicate the other half.
The other half of it.
19th Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be part of this.
their stuff or the eastern part of this?
Well, I think that easement should go all the way through, just to avoid anything in the future. And should that be requested of the land, south? To make sure?
I can't require the property owner to the south to do that because they're not doing anything with their property.
Okay.
So I will tell you that I did reach out to, John, right?
I believe that's accurate.
I did reach out to John Sexton, with the, church and talked to him a little bit, discussed with him about the possibility of getting another 30 feet on the south. He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. So he seemed like he was decently, willing to negotiate doing that. But yeah, I can't require him to do that as part of her subdivision.
In other words, make 30 on hers and 30 on his and have room for a full street.
Yeah, I can't make him
Right,
do
I
that
understand.
until he does something to initiate a
Right.
subdivision or something. So there's a couple of things, and please, Bill, tell me if I'm say this incorrectly. You can probably pass this with the addition of a 30-foot easement going all the way across so that you could keep it going instead of having this delayed for a month. So you could pass it saying, we'll pass it with this, with the addition of 30-foot easement.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the purpose of today's meeting is if you have other recommendations you would want to make to city council, you don't have to follow the proposed motion that's in the council or the planning commission materials. You could make up your own motion where you would say recommend that the easement extend to the east. We
Is there a
just wanna-
reason why it would be 30 feet instead of 33? If our.
Well, that's a good question, because I mean, typically it's 66.
if our standard road- if our standard
I
street is
think we
66,
picked the 30-foot because I believe I'd have to look at some of the others around there that may be the actual right-of-way of some of those streets that are in that
you are
area.
to match up.
So, yeah, we were just making a matchup, I'm pretty sure. But no, that is a good question.
I do think it's 33.
On a regular big street, but some are like 19th and 20th,
They
that's
be-
gravel,
Yeah.
they may be 30.
30.
Yeah, yeah.
But you wouldn't let a gravel street in today's world, you wouldn't.
Right. You'd want to do it correctly
Yeah,
when you have the
I mean-
opportunity. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, if it's all B2. That's the other thing, is
What is this- what
is
is
it
the-
all B2 all the way to the 31?
The entire parcel is Zone B2 highway
Even the
commercial.
31
Yes.
access? Okay,
Yes.
then the access easement should go all the way through.
Okay.
Do you want to, how do you want to deal with this? Do you want to kick it back and have them redraw the map and show it all in there? Are you comfortable moving with it as long as there's access all the way to the east side of the property and then, because you'd want to see it along the, you'd want
All
to
the
see
way
it,
around,
you'd want to basically see the access go all the way around this
all the
parcel,
way
correct?
around.
The entire parcel.
Probably.
And up between
Through the middle part.
this access on the edge of this lot to join this lot, because you never know if this is gonna be broken down. It's 31 acres.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It may be broken down into 10
whole
lots.
bunch.
Right. So you want access all the way around the outside and on this side of it. So there's a possibility to do access up the middle in the next subdivision.
Well, yeah, because you'd want to be able to match it up with that
Correct.
existing street that comes through from the east.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has got,
Yeah. I
So it's
agree.
hard to put all that in to this is what I'm thinking.
That is the applicant, just so
Okay.
you're aware.
come on up.
Good evening.
Name and address, please.
Baleen Hudson, my home address,
Yes.
19200 West Frederick Road, Dickens, Nebraska.
Okay.
This is my subdivision we're discussing tonight. So I would like to, hear all of your concerns, and I do think we have a couple options. I would like to consider pausing on the excess easement, just because I would like the opportunity to consider, like, the city would like a road, and I don't want to be boxed into it being like perfectly around the perimeter. I don't have plans to develop that for quite a while, but you know that you'll be involved in all of the development of that. So I understand that there will be easements and access needed, but I don't want to be boxed in quite yet on exactly how it looks. I don't mind the north one so much, but the south, we had discussed with the city a different kind of road to match up to the road. And since I don't have development plans yet, I would love if there was any chance for a pause and just to like approve this west portion. That's just my suggestion. Do you have any questions or thoughts for me?
I don't know that I'm comfortable approving the west portion without knowing what you're doing on the east. I
But I don't
apologize.
have plans for the east. It's gonna stay undeveloped for now. I have years of work to do on the west and not resources for the east at this time. So this middle section is campground, and if that takes off, we will make the rest of it campground. So because we are a medical facility and a spa, and our plan is to like have people come in and do like camp and do treatments for a week. So kind of be like a medical retreat. So I do need time like to allow the next decision making of whether it becomes campground. I am not building houses out there. That's not my plan. So
Any questions from us? Go ahead.
Probably not a question for you, but maybe a question for Judy as well.
Let's make
Oh,
sure we're,
okay. Yep.
any questions for Faylene while she's here? Thank you.
thanks.
Go ahead.
So if we approve it only with the addition of the 30-foot easement, or 33, if we want to even change that, for the entire property, if the owner wants to come back at a later date and do something different, can that be changed again?
Yes.
Got it. So it's not going to hinder any future development that might not need that easement.
No. But it would protect the city if you had those easements included in there.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we're not all gonna live forever. We
Right.
can walk out of here tonight and somebody get hit by a bus. And so whatever decision you make, you're gonna wanna make sure that
Right.
it's something that you can live with if it changes hands.
Well, I think too, from a future, investment, that particular piece of land would be more valuable if it had access. So if, even the owner wanted to do something different, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I hear the applicant, but I'm not at all comfortable approving
with
this
you.
without access all the way through the east side of that property.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
And how do you want that done? Do you wanna just send it on with access going, or do you want this to come back to you guys again?
how,
We could approve it
Yes.
with access all the way around tonight and then send it to the city council.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking as long as we have the access around what's being developed with the future, it's not worth anything if it doesn't have access.
Is that a motion, Mr. Mean?
No. Still in discussion.
yeah, so I think there's probably two choices. You can either amend whatever motion there is here and approve it with, as long as there's access all the way around the perimeter of the entire parcel, or you can kick it back and have the applicant draw it out for you the way they want to draw it out and have it come back. I'm okay with either one of those. And I don't know, are you okay with either one of those?
Yeah, I think the whole point of the meeting tonight is to get input from all of you as to what you think is best. And I mean, looking towards the future is what we have you guys here for to do. So, if somebody made a motion that said, that you move to recommend subject to the access easements extending to the east, it wouldn't have to be that exact language, but something to that effect. I think that then gives the city council something to consider so far as your recommendation goes.
Right. So, because to make perfectly clear, our job is to make a recommendation to council. They can do whatever they want to with this.
Mhm.
So even if we don't approve it in its current form, they could still choose to approve it, because whatever we're going to do is going to go to council on the 5th. So
Okay, well, I'll make a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll give it a shot. Might need your help. Attorney.
Mhm.
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number SU26-005 preliminary and final approval of Deep Water Retreat Subdivision with the amendment to extend the 30-foot access easement
30 or 33?
33, to change the access easement from 30 to 33 feet and to continue it throughout the entire
All the way.
parcel on the, all the way around on the southeast and north side.
That make enough sense to you to put into?
Judy and I can figure it out.
As developed, as it develops.
Oh, I think,
I don't know if I'd put as
No.
develops, because if you
Okay.
do that, then
No,
it
no.
would be piecemeal.
Right.
Anything they do has to come back to us anyway, so we can
Yep.
change it all when that comes.
Yeah.
The way she said it was this gonna, have to come back with the other 31 acres in it with the easement around it.
Doesn't necessarily have to come
No,
back.
I
It
think
could
what
go to
she's,
council.
yeah,
Okay.
I think what she's saying is we're okay with it as long as the easement goes all the way around the
Okay.
perimeter of this property.
Yeah, that was,
Is that essentially what I'm hearing?
correct.
yeah.
So everybody knows what the motion is.
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Matthews, seconded by Jet to approve with the amendments. Any more discussion on this matter? Pretty clear as water what we're voting on here?
Deep water.
I tried to stay out of that. Okay.
We said it at the same time.
Kevin, go ahead. Oh, you already
You have
did.
to- you have
Go
to-
ahead.
There you
Go
go.
ahead.
Beautiful building out there, though.
And the motion passes. So this will go on to council on the
Fifth.
5th. Okay. Public hearing time.
Joy.
Item number 5. Okay, so we are going to take up items number 5 through 7 first, and then so I'm going to read all 3 of these in. We're going to open the public hearing once on all 3 of these items since they're related. Does that all make sense to everybody? Okay. Item number 5 is file number AM 26-004, discuss and consider action on an application by Ted and Stephen Brewer for an amendment to the City of North Platte Comprehensive Plan 2012 land use map to amend certain land from agricultural vacant to commercial on property located at intersection of East Francis Street and South Bryan Avenue on property described as blocks 4 and 5 Opportunity Subdivision, the south half of Lot 3 North Platte Farm Subdivision, the north half of Section 10 Township 13 North, Range 30 west of the 6 Prime Meridian, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, lots 1, 2, and 3 proposed Brewer subdivision. Item number 6, public hearing, file number Z26003, discuss and consider action on application by Ted and Stephen Brewer to rezone certain lands from an A1 transitional agricultural district to B2 commercial highway district on property located at the intersection of East Francis and South Bryan Avenue on property described as blocks 4 and 5 Opportunity Subdivision, the south half of Lot 3 North Platte Farm Subdivision, and the north half of Section 10 Township 13 North, Range 30 west of the 6 Prime Meridian, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, lots 1, 2, and 3 proposed Brewer subdivision. Then item number 7 is file number SU26-006, discuss and consider discuss and consider action on application by Ted and Stephen Brewer for Brewer subdivision located at the intersection of South Bryan Avenue and East Francis Street in an A1 agricultural district on property described as North Platte Farm Subdivision, blocks 4 and 5, Opportunity Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy.
Okay, and you should have received 3 different sets of review comments. The first one is for the amendment. Attached to that, you will see the copy of the North Platte future land use map showing the proposed amendment of the 3 separate lots from agricultural vacant to commercial. In order to rezone a property, it is the duty of the Planning Commission to ensure that the rezoning is in conformance with the current comprehensive plan. The request for the amendment has been submitted in conjunction with the rezoning. The applicants are requesting the amendment to allow a change in zoning. Planning staff has no objections to the amendment. The property is currently vacant, undeveloped property located in an area with high-density residential and commercial uses. The area proposed to be rezoned to commercial would be abutting East Francis Street, which is anticipated to be a high-traffic area, more conducive to commercial or high-density uses. Amending the land use to commercial fits the future development of the area, transitioning from a high-density to a commercial. The zoning application or the zoning review comments attached to that, you will see a copy of the subdivision and also a copy of the current zoning map. In that area, you can see a lot of a mixture of PR3, which is high-density residential, R3, B2, B1. So there is quite a few different options for commercial type properties also. Again, planning staff has no objections to the rezoning if the amendment to the land use is approved. The property is located in an area mixture of high-density residential and commercial, and rezoning the area along East Francis Street which is anticipated to be a high-traffic area, seems to be a good fit for the overall development of the area. And then the next one is the actual subdivision, which does show creation of 5 separate lots. Now, on that final subdivision, if you look, you will see 3 fairly small lots. Those are the ones that we're looking at rezoning to commercial. The other 2 lots, lot 4 and 5, are large enough that they can remain agricultural. So they didn't apply to change those because they may go commercial, they may go residential in the future, and they don't have to change them because of lot size. The lot size, the ag still fits. So anyway, I am happy to try and answer any questions that you may have.
Okay.
And representatives for the applicants are in the audience.
Okay, there are 3 different public hearings we're going to have tonight, but I'm only going to read this once because you all get tired of me reading this garbage every week. So here we go. Planning Commission values your input and wants to hear from the audience during public hearings. Anyone wishing to speak must first be recognized by the chair. Once recognized, please approach the podium, state your name and address. Please keep your comments as brief as possible. Repetitive and excessively long testimony may be ended at the discretion of the chair. And with that, the public hearing is open. Again, remember, we're running these 3 items together in this public hearing. So anybody want to talk on any one of these 3 items? Going once. Going twice.
Make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Matthews to close the public hearing. Any discussion on that matter? Not, Kevin, please. And the public hearing is now closed. We're going to talk about this one up here now, okay?
Got lots of questions?
So,
The entire area is being redeveloped.
Correct.
So
So,
we're just changing this part of the land use map
yes,
because the other part's already been changed?
a lot of it, yes. If you look over to the east, where the development of those apartment buildings, that land use was changed when that was first anticipated.
so here's the current land use map. PR3
Yes,
is where all this housing is going.
yes.
Councilman Lucas sent me this earlier today. This is the last redevelopment plan from August.
Midwest. yeah.
Yes. So the area question is this A1 block right here.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
So
this
that's-
area.
On the west side is McCabe.
Way west is McCabe.
If you look at this map, Jeff, it shows you.
I think I've got a big map too. I don't have the land use. I don't have the.
So there's Cody right there.
That's where all this.
McCabe comes in.
Francis,
And there's Brian.
there's Brian.
There's apartments, there's house.
Are you doing this?
You want GIS or something there?
No, we're fine.
You can use that and pull that up too.
There it is.
I guess I don't really have a
Lots that
zoning,
are-
but so this area right here has all been, with
That's
the
all
land use
PR3.
map, has all become residential right
Yep.
in here. This is what we're talking about, is this area right here. So this land use still remains ag. Brian is here. This is like Meyer, maybe. I think Meyer comes down
Walter
here.
Meyer.
And then this, of course, is McCabe that comes through here. Here's where the apartments are going. This is for future development of residential. This
But-
right here is the veterans, or not veterans, the
The homeless shelter.
Up on Lynn,
homeless, yeah,
Connections.
the connection.
Opportunity Center.
Thriving,
site.
Yep.
thriving connections, that's what's that's called. And then up here, we just did that,
The medical building.
The medical-
conditional use for that medical.
Lutheran Family Services.
Yep, yep. So that kind of gives you a really good idea of where it is.
So the other thing I was looking at as part of this redevelopment plan, the Fritz Farm redevelopment plan, is right what would be Meyer, which would be there,
Yep.
which would abut the commercial lot to the what they're asking for to be a commercial lot to
Right.
the north abuts single family residential, or I can't tell if it's single family or if it's multifamily through there by just looking at this, but it does, they might be fourplexes.
Yeah. And they haven't gotten that. I mean,
That could
their
still
plan
change.
could change.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But these are the lots that they're looking at as commercial. This one right here, this one right here. And then we threw this one in because that is a outbuilding.
Mhm.
So it kind of fits commercial a little bit better than just residential. But
So all of us are on the same page. What can the applicant do in a B2?
quite a few different things. So, I can't tell you 100% what they're proposing to do because they don't really have a solid, to my knowledge anyway, they don't really have a solid, this is what we're buying it for. They're buying it more of like an investment property so that they have some commercial lots that they could sell. So, yes, in a B2, there's quite a few things you could do. Some of the more disastrous things could be a gas station, if it's disastrous. Could be
You
what?
name it.
Yeah, you name car dealership, could be a service station, you know, some of those more intensive B2,
Quick
or
stops,
it could be an office space,
office building.
office
quick
building,
stops.
yeah. You know, so there's quite a few things. Now, you could decide maybe B2 isn't what you want there, maybe it's a B1. You know, I don't know. B2 seemed like, I mean, it's the widest open, gives them an opportunity to, yeah, do a gas station or office space. But yeah, there's a ton of things you can do in a B2. There's a ton of things you can do as a conditional use in a B2.
I'm trying to picture Francis Street here with this B2.
Mm-hmm.
What's there right now?
That is, isn't that where Earl Mays used to be? It's not Earl Mays anymore.
now.
Aloe.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that far
Okay.
down?
So you got Aloe, you've got
Oh, yeah.
you've got a
We're down
Yeah,
patio,
that's
to
right,
use
you've
Poplar
got a
right
cell
there.
tower right there, and you
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a cell tower.
got it.
There's a house on the corner of Francis and Tabor right there
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
square.
and then it becomes residential again
Yeah.
as you keep going further east.
I always thought that was gonna get developed.
So now,
And I mean, you can kind of see that on there. If I blow it up, you might be able to see it a little more.
It's like Aloe's all the way down here at Poplar.
Right.
Mhm,
That's what I was asking.
Don't they have some townhomes built right back in there?
mhm. Yeah. What was that?
That's what I'm trying to picture where they're at from.
Where's that aloe on the far left of that?
Well, let's blow it up a little bit. We'll
there
see
you
what
go.
we can
Zoom
see.
in on that sucker. Let's see what it is.
'Cause I think those,
Aloe's right where
this
that
is all
piece-
So
around the,
here's the cell tower. that cell tower. This, I think, is a home.
There's a home there.
And then, yeah,
Lot has
there's
been flattened and.
Yes,
ready to
there's a building
build.
pad being built there,
Yeah.
and
right
then you've got
here.
Aloe.
That's that Waldingers, I believe, is gonna
Right,
go
so
right
you've got medical on, then on the north side of that.
Kidney care.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's some duplexes in here.
Are those townhomes where the numbers are
Yeah,
diagonal?
that's why you have like a whole bunch of
No, I
numbers
mean
here.
on
You've
the
got,
vacant, the ones they're building over here.
oh, right here?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
that's
where the
where,
townhomes are, right?
that's where that Thriving Connections is going.
Oh, that's gonna be the multifamily.
Yep. Yep. And then you've got, I mean, these are all duplexes, apartments, those
So
types of
that's
things in
opportunity
here.
subdivision.
And lot 7 there, right on the bottom side of that, circle. Nope.
Oh,
Scroll
right
up.
here?
Yep, is that
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
That, I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know what it is. But yeah, that's where we
That's
did
where
that
Lutheran Family
medical
Services
clinic.
is going.
Yep. Yep.
Cause Edna Court is now a cul-de-sac.
Linda Court?
Linda.
Yeah.
Excuse me, wrong person.
Yeah.
And what's the lot just north of the Edna, or
This.
now you got me saying it. Edna Court.
That's part of that Lutheran Family Services, so
Right.
those are like handicap accessible.
I'm talking about the empty one just east of there, Judy.
Here.
That.
It's an
Is that
empty one.
zoned, what is that zone? Maybe
R3.
That's R3, I believe.
Okay.
And so is the big lot across from it.
This one, yes, R3.
Okay,
Sorry.
Yeah,
there it is right there. Sorry.
yeah.
I'm asking you questions I've got the answer to in front of me if I just look at it.
I don't know. Tough decision.
So we're looking at the subdivision block, small print, 3, opportunity.
This, and this. So you're looking at pretty much right here, and right here.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
This
this,
is already here.
this, and this. Yep.
And this, and what are these two things?
It's just an insert. They're showing you what this looks like bigger.
What is it? Pump?
The-
Shop?
Shop. Yep.
Part of what bothers me about this is we're going business, and then we've already transitioned into housing, and now we're gonna transfer back into business and then back into housing. And I don't know that I love B2 there.
Yeah.
You've got 3 residential homes on the corner, or
Yes.
would be southeast corner there of Tabor and Francis.
Tabor and Francis,
But you're
correct.
gonna put a possible gas station right to the south of these 3 homes.
Yeah, I
I
don't,
mean,
I don't like B2
Well, and then the
there
new
at all.
townhomes are right there behind those.
Right.
Those are all new townhomes right there.
Mhm.
And I guess that's what I was thinking was, and isn't there commercial in the new development out further?
Yes,
They have a-
further.
That was one of the questions so the further you go out east on Francis, once you hit the existing industrial park, isn't there future commercial back in
Yes.
there?
With
Yes.
that big subdivision area, there's commercial in that.
Mm-hmm.
well, they put their commercial along Phillip though, to my
No,
understanding.
No.
If you go,
On the
if you go
south.
east on Francis,
Oh,
You
well,
go
the one you
east.
get out all the way
Yeah.
out.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you'd run into the post office and that road
Oh, yeah, all
juts
the
to
way
the
out.
south, then I think there's some commercial development
Mhm.
planned back in there.
Industrial actually is what they're planning.
Industrial.
But yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, so here's the deal with this rezoning. It has to be rezoned to something. The applicants are proposing a B2. We cannot do the subdivision without rezoning those lots to something other than ag.
Would R3 make more sense? Because it's adjacent to R3.
Might make more sense to you. The applicant's probably not gonna like it because it's not commercial. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's
Well, a
wrong.
little commercial mixed in isn't a bad thing.
Right.
Well, we've clearly issued conditional use permit for something we felt like fit the general nature of the area to Lutheran Family Services. We forwarded that to council. I don't know where that's at in the council process.
It was approved.
Okay. So clearly, we've said we're comfortable with some sort of that
commercial.
out there, but
Correct.
I feel like B2 should be more on the outer perimeter of a residential district, if it's going to be near residential, but in the middle of residential, I feel like B1 is more appropriate.
Neighborhood commercial.
Yeah. And it looks like the only, when I was just looking briefly, very briefly,
What's B2?
the biggest difference is like the car dealerships type of scenario, or, because I think you could do a service station in B1, but maybe not
Okay, so
a
just,
long gas station or
just
something.
so everybody's on the same page, so you got the B1 uses, which are things like banks and childcare centers and
That you
those
see
sort
in
of
neighborhoods.
Office,
Office
Right.
spaces.
retail,
So then in B2, you can do everything you can do in a B1, plus you can do new and used vehicle dealers, service stations, bowling alleys, miniature golf courses, hotels, motels, restaurants, drive-in establishments, farm and industrial equipment sales and service, printing and publishing, car wash facilities, commercial operations, mobile home sales, service stations, shopping centers. That just opens up
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
quite a can of worms when you go from B1 to B2.
If you look at the B1, some of those things are permitted in the B1 as long as the lot is big enough. I think it says more than 3 acres, which a couple of these are. So
Yeah.
just
Im-
some food for thought.
Run back up to
I don't
B1, would you please? Sir, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure everybody's,
So this is B1.
so B1 would be things like banks, receiving store for dry or steam cleaning, barber shops, commercial schools, dancing, music, hospital and clinics for animals, but not open kennels, self-service laundries and dry cleaners, messenger and telegram service stations. I didn't know we had a need for those sorts of things.
that's a UPS store.
Text message?
Yeah. Custom dressmaking, so, I mean,
It sounds like Westfield.
Yeah,
it sounds like Westfield.
Yeah,
So then
so you could put, B1 would allow you to put another
Okay, it has to
Westfield,
be
a shopping
3 acres.
center
Mm-hmm.
with those kinds of,
Service stations, restaurants.
So you can, if it's more than 3 acres, you can do a shopping center, which can include a service center and those sorts of things there, a car wash. Again, similar to Westfield.
so the lot on the north would be able to
Would be
do
able
that,
to.
the lot, or the south.
The south.
The lot on the south
South.
would be large
It's
enough that you could do that.
3.39.
Yeah,
So they could do a shopping center right there.
Can you do a restaurant, fast food in B1?
Yeah.
Domino's is in B1, so yeah.
You can, as I'm reading it, and this is just my quick review of it, so, as I'm reading it, I think it would have to be a part of more of like a shopping center.
Retail center?
Yeah, yeah.
Retail strip,
But what's that? 3 different businesses?
right.
I mean,
It could be a
honestly.
small strip like they've got,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or back on Poplar? No, not Poplar. Cottonwood.
Cottonwood.
There, the center that goes east and west off Cottonwood. North and south on Cottonwood. What am I thinking, where the accounting firm and,
You thinking right in front of Owl?
yeah,
Nebraska titles in there?
yes. That
Dennis
sort of
Place.
shopping center.
Yeah.
Sorry, the name of the street's escaping me, I apologize.
that is, no, that's not.
No, that's Poplar. That's Poplar.
Poplar?
Yeah.
Here's one of the fun things about, so say if we were just talking about restaurants, so I'm just looking at B1. B1 includes stores or shops used to conduct a retail business, including eating establishments.
There you go.
And so, but then you get down to B2 and it specifically mentions restaurants, but
So what's the
What's a
difference
restaurant?
between an eating establishment and a restaurant?
Yeah.
the way it's spelled.
The amount of seating?
Well, so I guess the
Cost of
question in
the
front of this group is, do you feel like this is an appropriate place for a commercial development? That, which is part of our job here, is we've got a big hunk of land out there that's being developed, which is great. But do you think commercial is a good fit in here? And if you are, what level of commercial are you comfortable with? I think those are the questions in front of us tonight.
I guess I don't have a problem with lot 1 and 2 possibly being B1. My question would be, why does lot 3 clear down there need to be also commercial? Could it be R3? Could we say R3 and 2 B1s? 'Cause
Yeah,
those-
as
there
far
are-
as I'm concerned, you can do that. The reason, and the applicant, when they originally did that, only wanted these first two lots anyway. But
Oh.
I said that one has to be thrown in there, so.
I just don't
Okay.
see how that
Yeah.
one would go commercial over there at 1 acre with 3 homes right next to it, but that's me.
That's my fault. I just threw it in there because it has to be rezoned to something
somewhere.
because it's small.
And currently there's a shed, storage shed of something?
It's an outbuilding, so originally it was an agricultural building, so
A
like
building.
a Quonset garage.
Building.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So would that, it would be a non-conforming use in R3 then?
Yes, but they could always put a house on the lot and use it
I
as
think
their
somebody would
garage,
buy it
so.
as a house, but
And somebody could buy it as a
Look at Nelson.
barn
Rosen.
dominium.
I've got to buy it.
Well, I look at Francis as, to the west as being kind of commercial business area. And, if it thins out a little bit and goes and has a residential, it's no different than having those townhouses on the north side of Francis there, or the duplexes or
Correct.
whatever.
Cause
I mean, you
they're
go
all
down
mixed
Phillip
in right
Street.
there anyway.
Submit.
The commercial is adjacent to the townhomes on Tabor and Francis.
Yes.
Yep. So I don't know how, I don't think that this area is gonna stay, just wants to stay completely residential. But I don't think it wants to be B2.
I would
So
agree.
I would suggest the B1, more restrictive thing, and the lot to the south should still be residential. But,
You're talking the little one to the south,
yeah,
make that R3?
yeah.
Well, you're certainly welcome to make that motion if you'd like.
Oh, can't do that?
So, all right, let me, before we go there,
Which one's first?
is this similar to the last one where the applicant comes with us one thing and we're recommending something else and it's okay to send it forward like that? Okay,
This one, we do have to make 3 separate motions. So
Right.
start with
Yep.
the amendment. The amendment, you're going to want to, if you're wanting to do the B1 and the, R3, you're going to want to amend certain land from agricultural vacant to commercial and amend certain land from agricultural vacant to multifamily residential.
do we need to specify B1?
Not on this AM.
Not on the
Okay, all right,
AM
all right.
Not in the AM one.
On the other one.
I still don't know that I love commercial there. I get it, but I still don't know that I love commercial there.
I think it's gonna fit right in, similar to the west. And the further you go down to the east, they're gonna have commercial down there. Whether it's retail strip centers or whatever, they got some commercial space tied in. I don't think it's gonna go as well as people think, like the A Street. But, cause there's commercial out there that,
Yeah, that they haven't been able to get
Sitting
filled.
and it's similar.
Yeah.
It's similar. It's on the edge. It's new and upcoming. It doesn't get as much traffic as you think. So I think it's not a bad idea to have some commercial lots, but,
Whether or not it ever gets developed is the other issue.
right. Cause they can also come in with conditional use.
There you go.
Well, and I think just to make sure everybody's on the same page, so right now we're on item number 5,
Right.
Which is the amendment, yes.
which is the amendment to the land use map. And so, from the discussion that we've had here, it sounds like you would just need to add in the residential part of the recommendation, so.
And that would be described further south on Tabor?
You can describe it that way. That would work.
So long as
Mhm.
they can get it properly articulated to the council on the 5th.
Okay, so I move to make a recommendation to approve file number AM 26-004, an amendment to the City of North Platte future land use map, amending certain land from agricultural vacant to commercial on property located at the intersection of East Francis Street and South Bryan Avenue, and to amend certain land from agricultural vacant to residential, lying south on Tabor Avenue.
Perfect.
The motion on the floor, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Van Velsen, seconded by Bain. Everybody understand what you're voting on? You're gonna flip the two northern lots to commercial in the future land use map and the one southern lot to residential.
What happens to that shop? It just.
It
stays-
just
Becomes a
stays there.
yeah, it becomes a
Non-conforming. Yeah.
non-conforming use.
Non-conforming existing.
Nothing happens until they try and change it. But it says rezone to B2, and I think we were talking B1.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
the
that's
zoning. That's the
rezoning.
next,
You just
Oh,
did the
that- okay.
amendment.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, you're good.
we gotta get through this one first.
Well, let's do that.
All right, any more discussion on this one? Not Kevin, please. And the motion passes. Okay, so then on item number 6, now this is rezoning.
Yep.
So this, you would have to specify that you're going to, you'd have to alter your motion, whoever makes it, to read B1 commercial, correct?
B1 neighborhood commercial.
Neighborhood
yes.
commercial. So we want to make sure we get the, instead of highway, it's neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to call out specifically the lot on Tabor to make it R3.
Correct.
Everybody on that same page?
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number Z26-003 to rezone certain land from an A1 transitional agricultural district to a B1 highway commercial district. Neighborhood district, B1 neighborhood commercial district on property located at the intersection of East Francis Street and South Bryan Avenue, and to rezone certain land from an A1 transitional agricultural district to an R3 residential district lying south of, on Tabor Avenue.
Okay, there's
Second.
motion by Van Velsen, seconded by Jet. Any more discussion on that motion? Not? Angie? And that motion is approved. And then on number 7, you would have to move, this is the rezoning, correct?
No, number 7
No,
is
seven-
the subdivision.
Subdivision.
This one you don't have to amend at all.
Okay, so you can read it as is.
You can read it as is.
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number SU26-006, preliminary and final approval of Brewer's subdivision.
Motion by Jet, seconded by Forbes to approve. Any more discussion on that one? Not Kevin, please. And that is approved.
Okay, these will go to the city council meeting on May 5th for public hearing.
Right. Items number 8 and 9 are related. We're going to read them both in, kind of the way we did this last one. Item number 8 is a public hearing, file number AM 26-005, discussion, consider action on application by Jeff Stash. I hope I said that wrong, right? Stosh, thank you. And Lisa Harris for amendment to North Platte's Comprehensive Plan 2012 Land Use Map to amend certain land from commercial to residential low-density single-family on property located at 206 West Fremont Drive and described as lots 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and part of Lot 5, Block 2, Schwartzlander Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Then item number 9 is file number Z26-004, discuss and consider action on application by Jeff Stosh and Lisa Harris to rezone certain land from B2 Highway Commercial District to an RL Suburban Dwelling District on property located at 206 West Fremont Drive and described as lots 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and part of Lot 5, Block 2, Schwartzlander Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy.
Okay, and you should have all received a copy of the review comments. Again, one for the amendment, one for the rezoning. Again, it is the duty of the planning commission to ensure that the rezoning is in conformance with the current comprehensive plan. So the request for the amendment has been submitted in conjunction with the rezoning. Planning staff has no objection to the amendment. The property is currently mostly vacant property located in an area that's a mixture of both residential and commercial uses. This particular property is surrounded by residential zoning and is currently used for residential purposes. With the rezoning, again, as stated by the applicant, they're requesting the zone change to be able to use the property as residential property, which is the current use. They're asking to be able to construct a new shed on the property to be used as a hobby shop and storage garage as part of their current residential site. The property will not be commercial and will remain as a private residence, so the change in zoning should not have a detrimental effect on the area. If you look at the zoning map, you can see that there is residential to the north, residential to the south, some ag property on the south side, and then right up against the Highway 83, there is commercial, and that's where the veterinary clinic is. And then if you go further north, it's Murphy Tractor and Tractor Supply. The one thing with this property is, you know, it looks like it would be a really excellent place for commercial, but there's really no access to the property that abuts Highway 83. Highway 83 is controlled access, so getting a drive off of 83 to access that as commercial property, their only real access to that property that abuts 83 is from Fremont. So honestly, it's not all that conducive for commercial, even though, you know, it looks like it could be, but residential is probably the better use. The applicants are in the audience if you have questions for them. I'm happy to answer any also if you have any questions.
Just for reference, where is College Drive? Is it further down the map?
It is, yes, further down, further to
On
the
other
south.
side of this.
So you see where this kind of cul-de-sac thing is, it's down in here.
Okay. Okay. We'll clear up there. Okay, perfect. All right, this is a public hearing. Nobody wants to hear me read the rules again, so same rules apply, and with that, the public hearing is open. Anybody want to talk on this one? Thank you for correcting me on your name. Anything else you'd like?
How many horses you gonna keep out there?
Doesn't be two, okay, but we're trying to get better grass.
Don't want to talk on this one? Going once, going twice?
All motion to close public hearing.
Second.
A motion by Jet to close the public hearing, seconded by Matthews. Any more discussion on that? Not, Kevin, please. Public hearing is now closed. Unless anybody has any questions, we'll just talk about this up here, all right? And I don't know if there's much to talk about here.
Nope.
Yeah. There's two different, again, you got to do this in two steps, so we'll deal with the land use map first, and then we'll deal with the second item. So the land use map is item number 8.
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number AM26-005, an amendment to the City of North Platte future land use map, amending certain land from commercial to residential low-density, single-family on property located at 201 West Fremont Drive.
206.
206, sorry. Correction, 206 West Fremont Drive.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Matthews, seconded by Bain to recommend changing the future land use map. Any more discussion on that item? Not, Kevin, please. And that recommendation is made. So now we can deal with number 9, which would be the rezoning.
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number Z26-004 to rezone certain land from a B2 Highway Commercial District to an RL Suburban Dwelling District on property located at 206 West Fremont Drive.
Second.
Motion by Matthews, seconded by Bain to make a recommendation to approve a zoning change. Any more discussion on that matter? Not, Kevin, please. And that recommendation has been made, so this will also go to council on May 5th.
That is correct.
Have a good evening. Thank you. Okay, item numbers 10 and 11. Again, 2 public hearings. We're going to run them together. Item number 10 is file number AM 26-006, discuss and consider action on application by White Lotus Group purchaser and Alda Holding LLC owner for an amendment to the City of North Platte Comprehensive Plan 2012 land use map to amend certain land from residential high-density multifamily to commercial on property located at 2105 East 2nd Street in on property described as Lot 58, Platteview Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. And item number 11, excuse me, is file number Z26-005, discuss and consider an action on application by White Lotus Group purchaser and Alda Holdings LLC owner to rezone certain land from an R3 dwelling district to a B2 highway commercial district on property located at 2105 East 2nd Street on property described as Lot 58, Platteview Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy.
Okay, and again, you should have all received a copy of both the review comments, one for the amendment, one for the rezoning. This amendment is probably going to look very familiar because at the last Planning Commission meeting, there was an amendment to the property just to the south. Again, in order to rezone the property, it is the duty of the Planning Commission to ensure the rezoning is in conformance with the current comprehensive plan. The request for this amendment has been submitted in conjunction with the rezoning. Planning staff has no objections to the amendment. The property is currently a large vacant site abutting commercial property on the north and a mix of residential and high-density residential and low-intensive commercial on the south, east, and west. Amending the land use to commercial seems to be like a fit for the area. If you look at the land use map that's attached to those review comments, in the black where it says amend to commercial, that property to the south and east, just a bit right beside the blue, was amended at the last Planning Commission meeting and at the last City Council meeting to commercial also. With the rezoning, as stated by the applicant, East 2nd Street is paved, well-maintained street. It is believed that by nature of the location, increasing traffic flow should not be a detriment to the area, especially with East 4th Street immediately adjacent to the north. The lot has been undeveloped for many years, and any new project will be required to meet current building codes and standards, so construction of a new building will serve to enhance the area. Although no specific project has been determined, it is anticipated that the rezoning this property will encourage new construction in the area. Again, planning staff has no objections to the rezoning if the amendment has been approved. The property is located in an area with a mixture of residential and commercial uses. This property is a large vacant site abutting commercial property on the north and a mix of residential and commercial uses on the south and east of the area. As the applicant stated, East 2nd would provide easy access to commercial businesses to connect to the East 4th Street, which is a main thoroughfare through the community. And again, attached to that, you do see a zoning map that shows the areas that are zoned commercial residential in that area. So if you have any questions, I am happy to help. There is a representative from the applicant in the audience also if you have any questions for him.
So just to clarify, didn't council stop the rezoning in the last?
So council approved the amendment to the land use, so prepared it for the rezoning. They approved the rezoning on first reading, and then when it came back on second reading, yes, they denied the rezoning.
Denied it, okay.
But again, the land use is changed to commercial.
What's the,
So-
there's an avenue running north and south on the east, and that is, which avenue?
On the east side, Bicentennial, I believe. Yes.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so this is a public hearing. Again, same rules apply. Anybody want to talk on this one? Going once. Going twice.
Make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Matthews, to close the public hearing. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none. Public hearing is now closed. We'll talk about this up here now. So now we've got a lot with a flipped land use that the council.
Yep.
This is from GIS.
Okay.
So we've got B2 all around.
So
there.
basically you've got a
This
small.
This is the lot we're talking about.
Right.
This was the one that was
Right.
amended in
So literally, you've got an entire commercial area that's basically got this little L-shaped chunk of R2 in the middle of it,
Yes,
and a mobile home park on the east side.
On the east end.
yes.
Literally, there'd be two houses on Second Street that would, I mean, one views it. And one is on Second Street. There's one behind it on Third Street, which doesn't go through, but it has a Third Street address. And the front faces east.
Let me just see if I have the aerial of this one so you guys can see what's there.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Unless anybody else wants to see it, I don't want to cut off any discussion on that, but I got it.
So I remember when we were talking about the one that has now been on hold. If I remember correctly, I believe I voted no on that because it abutted that residential area right there. And I remember thinking that if it were on the other side of the street, I would be more inclined. This is that example, wouldn't you know?
There you go.
Yeah,
Fresh served, so it's right in your memory.
There you go.
someone was listening, maybe, I don't know. So I don't have a problem with it, given the fact of the zoning around it.
On the south side, is that the one that we said hard surface for parking and
Yep.
and fencing around?
Yep.
We just had it.
It had a
Yep.
conditional use that went along with it.
Yeah.
And so when planning commission had considered it, those were some of the added conditions that you'd recommended.
When the city council considered it.
No, when you did.
When we
the
did,
planning
When we-
commission
yeah,
considered
okay,
it.
yeah.
we recommended adding those conditions.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
The conditional use never made it to city council because the zoning didn't get approved.
Huh? Okay. They didn't mind, do we?
And I felt that one was better because it's not directly adjacent. It's across the alley from the rear of residential.
Yeah.
This one has two residential properties facing it, adjacent, directly adjacent.
To the west.
Yes.
Yeah,
To
to
the
the west,
west.
yeah.
There was also
Sure.
a plan with that one. There's no plan with this one.
Right,
Do we know what the plan is?
no,
Not really. Office space is what I've been told, but that's what I've been told.
which means it would fit in a B1.
Sure would, because we just had that discussion, didn't we? I didn't have a problem with the last one. I still don't have a problem with the last one.
And I didn't because it was across the alley. There was nothing
Right.
right adjacent to it. The kids' home or children's homes
Right.
out there, the mobile home court's out there. The lots have been vacant for several years. The lot adjacent to this on the east is vacant. And was supposedly gonna be multifamily 5-6 years ago when it transferred, but it's still vacant. So,
I suppose the question is, but this is the next agenda
this one
item.
just bothers me because it's, I mean, there's a house there that would view this. Direct view, out the front door,
Sure. Or out the side window.
front door.
Is it front door? The
Mhm.
faces
One on
that?
Second
That-
would be side window, there's a house
Faces
behind
that.
it.
That house already, though, has all of
there,
its
faces
other
Oh,
borders up against B2,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So,
We got B2 all around it on the other side, which is Waldinger's shop, right?
no.
They're like-
West.
Well, they're right here.
Isn't that Charlie's?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old Charlie's.
The old
which is
Charlie's,
now-
that
Yeah.
Waldingers.
And I think the other two are just vacant. The two, and behind this house, there's a house right here that faces this. It's literally got a Third Street address with no Third Street. House here faces this way. This is just vacant grass,
Yeah.
Right here.
as well as the other one.
Did we hear,
vacant grass and
did
no
we hear from that
isn't.
homeowner? I assume they were notified.
Yep, everybody within 300 feet of this property were notified. I did not receive any comments from anyone. And I don't believe anybody's here to comment.
did
Nope,
the
definitely not.
applicant request B2, or is that just kind of an automatic go-to?
Well, that's kind of an automatic go-to here because it abuts B2. There's no B1 in the area, so it kind of makes more sense if it's abutting to kind of continue on.
We want to try to avoid spot zoning.
Sure.
And so that's why we try to keep them pretty congruent.
And I guess the reason I felt B1 in the neighborhood that's being developed fit better was because it's a neighborhood.
On two sides of it.
It would fit into a new neighborhood better
Yeah, I agree.
with the option of a conditional use.
There you go.
Well, there's two matters in front of you. One is future, flipping the future land use map. Somebody wish to make a motion on this?
So the effect would be to go from orange to red here?
Yes,
on
in
color code,
the,
On
Yep.
the land use map?
yes. Yes.
It's kind of spotty to me. There's a whole bunch of little pieces.
Yeah, why is there R2 on 4th Street
Um,
behind the?
That's a really good question.
that is a good question.
I know.
Because none of that's
Is it
residential.
Mm-mm.
Is there,
Yeah.
On the other side,
On the other side.
not on the south
this,
side.
this is a vacant piece.
Yes.
Yeah. They think that a business, an office building would go in there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But it leaves it wide open. That's just a guess for
Well,
what might happen.
It's the same discussion we had on East
Right, It's the
Francis.
same one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heck of a place for a gas station.
I sure wouldn't put one there, but what do I know?
I think it's okay that I understand the spot zoning, but it's still in the B category. And since it's next to residential, it would make sense to limit it as much as you can. And like I said, they can come back, or like we were talking about, come back with conditional use if they want something more specific.
And I'm not a fan of spot zoning, but
I'm on the other side. It's in an area of half industrial shop areas.
yeah,
Well, true.
So
On the-
it's
on the
not
north.
fit for a retail shopping center. It's not a fit for.
yeah, except for the houses that border it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Little
yeah,
chunk in there,
yeah.
You got that little outline.
Right.
I know that chunk of land was for sale for quite some time, wasn't it? Yeah.
But several of those out there that are those big, they've been
Right,
on the
sitting there
market
for a
years.
long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll probably say more, is that what you're saying?
That's, it could be.
It's a low population drive.
Well, again, as the town continues to fill in, we're gonna deal with more and more of this sort of stuff as we go
Right.
along here.
And that's what we're seeing.
Right.
Because we have enough multifamily. We're gonna have way too many units by the time they're done,
In theory,
in theory.
you just never know.
You never know.
We're gonna have
Don't have a
lot
crystal
of
ball,
stuff.
that's what
No.
I know.
What, excuse me again, the orange ones that are just to the west all the way to Bicentennial?
Mm-hmm.
That's the mobile home park.
Mm-hmm.
High density residential.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a mobile home park out there.
Yep.
It's, yeah.
Oh,
Sort of.
yeah. I'm not moving this one. I'm standing
Somebody want to make a motion or?
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number AM 26-006, an amendment to the city of North Platte future land use map, amending certain land use from residential high-density multifamily to commercial on property located at 2105 East Second Street.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Matthews, to recommend flipping the land use map from residential to commercial. Any more discussion on that one? Okay, let's vote. And the motion is approved. All right, so then you get to item number 11, which is to actually approve the zoning change from R3 to B2. If you don't like B2, you can recommend something different. We had a lot of that going on tonight. We're keeping everybody on their toes.
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number Z26-005 to rezone certain land from a R3 dwelling district to a B2 highway commercial district on property located at 2105 East Second Street.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Matthews to approve as presented. Any discussion on that matter? Okay. And that motion is approved.
Yeah, I'm going home now.
You're not
Got
done.
one more. Got
All
one
right,
more.
this also goes on to city council on
May
the
5th.
5th. Item number 12 is the last public hearing of the night. Public hearing, discuss, and consider action on a resolution regarding City of North Platte Newberry Village redevelopment plan pursuant to redevelopment law on property described as lots 1 and 2 Newberry Village Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy.
Okay, and you should have all received a copy of the review comments. Attached to that is the resolution, which includes the redevelopment plan for the proposed Newberry Village development. The City Planning Commission's responsibility in the redevelopment process is to take public comment on whether the real estate described is in conformance with the City of North Platte Comprehensive Plan, and if the project meets or will meet subdivision and zoning regulations, and is an overall fit for development of the city. The following statements should be considered and confirmed. The property as presented is located in an area that has been declared blighted and substandard. The property is in conformance with the current City of North Platte Comprehensive Plan. The project meets or will meet subdivision and zoning regulations, that the development of this property to its full potential is in the best interest of the City of North Platte and the entire region. The principal purpose of a comprehensive plan is to provide basic policies to guide the many activities of the city. It is used to help determine investment priorities and guide public and private development. At the same time, a comprehensive plan must be flexible in order to address changing conditions and respond to new situations that cannot be foreseen at the time of adoption. One goal of the current city comprehensive plan is to create sufficient housing stock to provide safe choices and options for types of units and by cost. Sufficient housing stock and options is obtained by redeveloping underutilized land with a mix of land uses that encourage new housing options, neighborhood services, and a variety of transportation options, sidewalks, paths, trails, and roads, reducing the number of substandard housing units in the community, creating alternative housing options such as senior housing or low to moderate income housing, providing incentives such as density bonuses for redevelopment of areas with substandard housing stock into affordable, safe housing, including housing programs that encourage construction of multifamily and rental units, affirm and support fair housing practices in North Platte, and prepare for the future growth by extending city infrastructure to areas targeted for development. As presented in the redevelopment plan, the project intends to create a manufactured housing park providing 247 single-family homes. The project will also include a commercial development with a convenience store and commercial strip development in the area. The development will require the installation of infrastructure, paving, sidewalks, water, sewer, storm detention for development of lots owned by the redeveloper. The redevelopment project will occur in 4 phases based on market demand. Planning staff recommends approval of the City of North Platte Newberry Village redevelopment plan and passage of the attached resolution. The redevelopment plan is in conformance with the North Platte, Nebraska Comprehensive Plan 2011 and meets current City of North Platte subdivision and zoning regulations. The property is located in an area that has been declared blighted and substandard. This area is appropriate for residential development. This area is surrounded by industrial and commercial properties and a combination of single-family, multifamily, renter, and owner-occupied dwelling units. This project will provide a housing option that is greatly needed in North Platte and the surrounding area. Home ownership is extremely difficult when new housing starts at a price point well beyond the grasp of a large number of our community members. These homes are being proposed to begin at a price point that will be much more affordable for North Platte's workforce. The development will allow members of the community to become homeowners versus renters, and home ownership is conducive to community buy-in, which provides for a feeling of being part of a community to call home. The proposed residential development in this location is a good fit for the area and for the growth and development of the city of North Platte. The applicant is here in the audience. Mr. Mike Bacon is also here in the audience. And if you have any questions, any of us can help you out.
All right. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Public hearing is now open. Anybody want to come talk on this one? Gary. A public hearing with a testifier.
You've had a busy evening.
Name and address, sir.
Gary Pearson, President, CEO of the North Platte Area Chamber Development Corporation, 502 South Dewey. Want to thank the commissioners for all the good work you've done. That's got so much new development going on in the community. When you have long, lengthy meetings, that means everybody is excited about continuing to develop in North Platte. Chief Industries, which is helping drive forward this project, you know, they're doing multi-million-dollar projects all over the country. Doing this type of a subdivision probably wasn't on their bucket list. You know, some of the community leadership and some of our industrial leadership reached out to Chief, who's been a wonderful partner in some of the growth we have going on in North Platte. And knowing they had the Bonneville Homes manufactured home plant, we felt that this would meet a price point that we weren't with all the other wonderful housing projects we're seeing. Really wasn't hitting a price point where people, as Judy paraphrased, get into the single family ownership, get cemented to the community in a more embracing fashion, and build up credit scores, which adds to good citizens in our community. We probably have over 1,000 workers in our workforce commuting to North Platte, some from a considerable distance. Part of that is that's probably doubled in the last 18 months with the new jobs that have been created here. And some of that is because we don't have that housing price point that can meet. Certainly this would help us continue to build our workforce. We appreciate the fact that Chief Industries and Bonneville Homes embraced another challenge in our community that we put forth to them, and we appreciate them bringing this project forward, and they have our full support. One final thing I want to mention when we talk about TIP projects, in normal circumstances, you know, all the homes go into the TIP profile and produce the revenue that helps provide for the increment to help pay for the infrastructure costs. In this situation, it's uniquely different because it's the neighborhood commercial that will help move the increment for all the expensive infrastructure that has to go into this subdivision. But the homes that are being built, because of the uniqueness of those homes, those will continue to go directly on to the tax rolls. That's not eligible for the TIF, as I understand it. So this is different. It will produce additional tax revenue immediately into the community, unlike a lot of the other TIF projects. So I thought that was important to point out, and I'd like to take it from there.
Thank you, Gary. Any questions for Gary? Anybody else want to talk on this one? Mr. Bacon, long time no see.
I missed you.
Sure that's not true, but thank you.
My name is Mike Bacon. I'm an attorney, special counsel for the Redevelopment Authority, 416 10th Street in Gothenburg, Nebraska. I prepared at the direction of the chairman of the Redevelopment Authority, the proposed redevelopment plan. It's fairly self-explanatory. The comments that Judy made and Gary made are dead on. I offer two things for you to focus on. 247 modulars is like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do that? I was born and raised in Lexington. Google says that they currently have 276 mobile homes or campers registered in a community, currently half the size of North Platte. It's going to shrink a bit. The tax, the tax rolls will be personal property tax that will be paid in, which I believe is mentioned in the redevelopment plan. The other piece is this is like a $37 million investment in your community, hoping they'll get their money back. So it will be phased over time. The other piece is people are worried about quick deterioration and upkeep of that area. There will be a redevelopment contract wherein the redevelopment authority will require maintenance and the conditions to maintain the park on a long-term basis. Let's see. What else we have? Expect to see a land condominium coming forward on this one. You've got one lot that's going to be developed in 3 phases. If those get sold off individually, you've got one lot, and how do we sell that? So counsel for the for chief indicates there'll probably be a land condominium as part of that coming forward when they get to that point. You won't get 247 immediately. It'll be based on drive. So recall that the cost benefit study for sustainable beef said you're going to get 850 direct jobs. It may be higher than that, and 1,100 follow-up jobs somewhere in your community. So that's and you ain't got that many houses coming online that fast. Be glad to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Bacon?
Has there been a consideration of the impact on the schools? I know that's part of one of the requirements, but.
Yeah. Early on, you had, I believe, north of 1,200 seats available. How that's been impacted with what's going on now it is open to question. One of the things you see in a lot of these smaller residences is you don't have the traditional family of mom and dad and 2 kids. Sometimes it will be, 3 or 4 different workers parking in one. If you have families, the reverse can also be true, mom and dad and 4 kids. It just depends on the drive. But so far on every one of these projects, no complaint with the school system. Recall that you have a number of kids going east and west from here, and you also have Catholic school to take a lot of that load off. So it's not all going to be nailed down in the community. But those kids also will have tax dollars available attached to them. Because of the recent funding change that they've done at the state level, TIF is not as impactful on the school system. And sometimes the state aid, those the number of kids in your system is more valuable for the state contribution than property tax would ever dream of providing. So that's a long version for a short answer.
Any other questions for Mr. Bacon?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else want to testify on this one? Going once. Going twice.
Make a motion, we close public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Matthews to close the public hearing. Any discussion on that motion? Not. Kevin, please. Public hearing is now closed. Real quick follow-up to that last question. Gary, do I remember correctly when we were talking about sustainable beef, which feels like forever ago now, that the schools had all sorts of capacity and were excited about new families coming to town?
And they haven't seen a significant amount of growth yet. So, but yeah, they embraced it wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
supported it. and needed it. You know, they've had years and years of declining student population, so it's very much welcomed, and there's plenty of capacity for sure.
Thank you.
Gary,
That was my recollection, but I wanted to make sure
Just
one
not a
more
Jefferson.
question.
yeah.
Gary,
Yeah, there might be specific.
you said the commercial is gonna sustain the TIF financing?
Well, it won't cover all of it, just a tiny bit of it, but it certainly helps,
It-
you know, for the massive amount of infrastructure they have to put in there. We haven't had a mobile home park built in many years, and to have it, all the new mobile homes are not, there'll actually be manufactured homes bolted down,
Right,
but they'll all be brand new,
right.
and it'll all be a quality build. And I've been through Bonneville Homes manufacturing plant. It's first class, and that's the homes we have up at Mulligan Meadows. The residents up there are extremely happy with them, and they're just extraordinarily well built.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Are
Gary.
they gonna come in already being sold, or are you gonna have so many in and then sell them, or are you only bringing them in as they sell?
I'll let
That's
these folks-
sound, Roger, come on up. Name and
Sorry.
address.
Sorry.
That's all right. Name and address, please.
Yeah.
Roger Bullington, 3935 Westgate Road, Grand Island, Nebraska, 68803. We're going to try and do some pre-sales or things like that, but to try and get things to prime the pump, we're probably going to bring some out there for like a model home or something like that, and try and sell them from there. And then if those don't sell, you know, we don't want to, but we'll lease them out. And so we've got this kind of set up to deliver so many per month, and kind of in a factory setup and a process. So there'll be a big push marketing wise between the targeted market to really educate them what about the home, how to get financing, and that sort. So.
Any other questions? Any other questions for Roger?
I've got a question for him.
Okay, come on up.
So these are going to be manufactured homes, not modular homes out there. Are you going to have these set up to finance like modulars? Because manufactured financing can be harder for some people to achieve.
It can be hard, and so we're trying to work with some banks now to make it easy for them. We're not going to do the financing ourselves through Chief, but we're going to try and put some programs together with some of the other banks that have got experience in that sector, because it's personal property type.
It's way different.
It's way different, you know. So that's what we're going to try and do is educate them what the value proposition is for doing those. Trying, like Gary said, to get credit and to get some home ownership. So that they can throw down more roots is kind of what the game plan and what the goal is.
Any other questions while Roger's here? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, Jeff, did
Nope,
you hit?
we're
Oh,
good.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Roger.
you. I've probably learned more about, most of you probably don't know, but we've gone through a rather large, lengthy review of the city's planning and zoning code over the course of the last 6 weeks.
It's been quite a while.
280 some odd pages that we've been reviewing. And the point I wanted to make is this. We saw an ordinance that we proposed a change on to eliminate the need for a storm shelter as part of this. The HUD standard for how these things get placed changed in the late 90s. The way I interpreted what the HUD standard is compared to what we approved is our old rules for setting up mobile home parks had been obsolete since the late 90s because we just haven't had one developed. So I've learned quite a little about all this process in the course of the last few months. But I just wanted to get that out there, that there's an install procedure for these things now that you have to set them down according to HUD standards. And basically we brought a rule forward, or a change in the ordinance that gets it up to the HUD standard, even though the HUD standard probably trumps what we were doing, right?
Wow.
So anyway, just wanted to get that out there.
Any other discussion?
That's my line. This is a segment of housing we really need, so I'm grateful that these
Move
folks
to
have bit this
approve the
off.
resolution recommending approval of the City of North Platte Newberry Village redevelopment plan and approval of related actions.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Matthews to recommend approval as presented. Any more discussion? I sense that my time here in this chair is running thin
Yeah.
from Mr. Bain's urging. Let's vote. Recommendation made. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Good luck.
This will be on the city council agenda May 5th. You can sign that for me when you have a chance.
Item number 13. Do we want to talk about this some more tonight? Do you have anything to talk about that's new?
Nope.
Item number,
Judy and I really haven't had a chance to work much on this, so
okay.
Okay.
I think is a good sign. There's
Darn.
lots of other stuff going on, so.
I just kind of put that on there as a placeholder. It is something we want to get back
We'll
to.
come back to it,
Yeah.
Let us finish up here, guys. Sorry. I know, we're joking, I know up here, but we're trying to finish up. Sorry. Quiet, Mr. Bacon.
You can join.
Item number 14, any old business? Item number 15, any new business?
No.
We're adjourned. Now you can carry on.
Well, thanks for doing that and not asking